Hey guys, welcome back to Quick Notes with Chris on. Today we're going to be talking about the book So Good They Can't Ignore You by Newport. It's a really interesting book that looks out to answer the question that I think a lot of people ask, especially if you are looking towards getting into the workforce or you've been here for a while. How is it that certain people end up loving what they do, and what's the difference between the ones that they don't? Now, it actually goes towards talking about something so surprising, because it really, if you think about it, why is it there are certain jobs and certain industries that people just feel as if they are born towards working in? When, does a caveman look towards really wanting to be a beauty therapist, or does a caveman really want to look towards being a businessman? And it really answers that question and breaks it down to a psychological reason as to why certain people love what they do and others people don't. And honestly, the answer, it's quite, I guess, not as the one that you'd be looking for if you are a person who does believe that they love what they do. Now, it really comes down to how passion really truly grows from becoming more and more competent in your craft, rather than so much as it's a yearning for since a young age. If you've ever met certain people who are like, I always wanted to become a doctor because I always wanted to look towards helping people, versus people who are like, I always wanted to become an actor or an actress, there's reasons as to why they end up falling into that career and why they end up sticking to it, and so on and so on and so on. And I'm sure that if you've spoken to enough people in different industries, you'll come across those people who they've talked about how they used to love doing this, or they've fallen into something else, or they used to love doing this, or they've fallen into something else. Now, understand that the vast majority of people do work in jobs or careers that they don't love. They're just in that position out of routine. But how is it and that differentiates those people who do love what they do? Well, the book goes down to break it down into three really simple traits and work traits: creativity, control, and impact. So creativity means that you do have enough, you get that creative urge out. You do end up to have a level of freedom with your craft. You do have a level of being able to distinguish where it is that you're going, and guess that sense of fulfillment and level of, you're able to explore yourself versus just becoming a mundane task. The next one is creative control. So you do have a level of direction in your craft, whether it's running your own team, running your own business, looking towards promote certain aspects of the business. If you are cutting deals, there's a level of you have control over your own life, your own income, whether it's your own business or whether it's in your job or whether it's in your career. And finally, impact. Now, this is a really interesting one because it's either impact towards yourself, so you feel as if your bank account is growing or your personal life is growing, your lifestyle is growing. Impact to your work peers, so you feel as if the people that are working around you, now can be any one of these three or all of these three. Impact to your work peers, so you are sort of working together, you feel like you're impacting them in a positive way. And finally, impact to your customers. So it can be a merge between all three, but generally speaking, it's just one depending on your morals. For example, if you're working in a sales aspect, if you're working in a commission-based business, chances are you're probably more leaning towards impacting on yourself, financially, your lifestyle. And it's really interesting and breaks down those three reasons. So if you're in a sort of position where you feel as if you do love yourself, love your job, I feel as though you should definitely ask yourself a question. Does your job give me creative freedom? Do I have control of the direction of the deals that I basically deal with, whether it's my own team and your own work life, or is this impacting my life, my peers' lives, or the customers' lives? Now, if you do, then that's the chances why you do have that job. But now that we do understand that, then how is it that you look towards developing that? Because if that is true, and you do believe that you actually don't find a passion per se, but you just fall in love with the competency and that develops those three things, how do you go about developing it? Well, the truth is that you have to adopt, rather than a passionate sort of mindset, you have to move towards more of a craftsman mindset. And a craftsman's mindset means that you develop it. Competency isn't something you might necessarily get straight away, but it is something you'd sort of look towards developing. So in order to get these three work trades, you have to develop a rare and valuable skill set. And from a rare and valuable skill set, you get that rare and valuable work trade or job trade. So, which I'm talking about, the creativity, the control, and the impact. Those are rare to find in a job. In order to develop that, you yourself need to develop a rare and valuable skill set. So, in order to basically develop that, if you look at anything as if it's a skill that's learned, there's going to be a learning process. There may be certain things that you pick up faster than others, but the truth is that it's going to take a lot of hard work before you do get up to that demanding stage. So basically, every single job that you move into, although it might feel definitely stimulating in terms of either creativity or impact, when it comes to control, you have to at first develop that. So you have to go through the boot camp. 9 times out of 10, whatever job you're going into, you're going to have to go through the boot camp, meaning there's going to be stages where you don't exactly like the job that you're doing or work that you're doing, but you certainly are stimulated by that. Now, you have to look towards becoming a master in your craft, whether it's something as crazy as what's it called? Becoming an actor, an actress, not necessarily crazy, sorry. Something as different as becoming an actor, an actress, or something as running your own business or running your own sales team. These are things that you just have to basically put in the hours and actively work towards doing it until you become that competent level where you can demand a higher skill valuability because you have a high, rare and valuable skill. And therefore that gives you options and access to those three traits of creativity, control, and impact. So how is it that you go about developing it? Well, just like any other craft or any other sport or any other instrument, or even when it comes to working in muscle, you need to set aside dedicated daily practice. You need to have daily deliberate practice that's literally advocated, and this is every single day, literally advocated towards developing the skill that you're trying to develop. So whether that is your job or your business or your instrument that you're looking towards getting good at, or your fitness, whatever it is that you're looking to create a profession out of, you need to treat it professionally. And a professional, they train at least once a day. Whether you're an NBA player, you're doing at least 2 a days plus a game. If you're an NFL player, you're doing definitely 2 a days plus a game. And that, if you want to make professional money and develop this professional, sense of fulfillment, you need to treat it like a professional skill. And in order to get to that professionality, become a master, you need to put in those hours. So there's a famous book called Mastery, and it really talks about, in order to get to this level, it's going to take 10,000 hours. So you need to look towards setting aside daily deliberate practice in order towards literally developing this skill. So the way that you get that is through evaluation, by also doing the task. So many people think that practice involves such an actionable action. So something like practicing basketball, so many people attribute getting better at basketball by just shooting the basketball. And although that's true for the fundamentals, when it comes, you eventually hit a plateau where it's very difficult for you to become better. And the reason is because you need evaluation. So once you develop this stage, especially in your job or especially in your work, you have to look towards evaluating what it is that you're doing. So much of basketball, so much of sport is about reviewing the game tape, understanding where it is that you went wrong. And it's so interesting how that's so applicable in so many different aspects of life. If you're looking toward progressing in your law firm, you have to look towards the cases that you've already handled. Where have you gone wrong? Where have you gone right? Where are the improvements that you can make? And how can you actively pretend to put yourself in that situation in order to feel that level of discomfort? The book also talked about how you have to constantly transition between comfort and discomfort. See, if you're always in your comfort zone, that is literally your enemy, because you will never grow in your comfort zone. If you always do what you've always done, you're never going to learn anything more. So, and if you want to get towards developing that, that rare and valuable skill, you have to go through rare and valuable circumstances, which means a high level of discomfort. And it's a really tough cycle before you can sort of attain this. There's so many reasons why, doctors and stuff like that who are so good at their craft, they're dedicating 10 years of their life towards study, and they're going to get something out of it. And that's the same way that you need to approach this skill. It might not necessarily take 10 years depending on your person, but no matter what, if you look at any sports athlete, I would average, say, at least 5 years of dedicated training before they became a millionaire in their sport or a professional in their sport. And it's the same way when it comes to business. Work on your skill set, work on your character. The money is just going to be a byproduct, literally, of that skill. If you want to make professional money, you just got to become a professional. Nowadays, especially, you can make so much money in just about anything. If you want to get well-versed on becoming a trolley technician, I'm talking about Woolworth's trolley technicians. If you want to, you can easily make 6 figures in that field as long as you become the top in that craft, whether it's chess, whether it's something, no matter how small and minuscule. Nowadays, there is an audience for everything, and people who are buying certain crafts and certain things. So if you want to make professional money and you want to develop that level of loving your job, first of all, you need to develop you need to find something that basically tweaks on that creative urge. You have a level of control of what it is that you're doing, whether it's your income or your craft. And finally, impact. Are you impacting your life? Are you impacting your loved ones? Are you impacting the people that you live with? And also, are you impacting your customers? Now, of course, that basically goes to say that finding a passionate job, it's not something that's real. Well, that's really what the book is trying to say. So to summarize, you need to find what it is that you want out of life, and learn to love the thing that needs to get you there. So for example, if your goal is to live a lifestyle of freedom and so on and so on and so on, you have so many paths towards becoming there, whether it's lifestyle and freedom, financial freedom, freedom with loved ones and stuff like that, being able to spend your time. There are so many different paths towards becoming there. So it's about which one are you going to choose and learn to fall in love with that. And the easiest way to learn to fall in love with that is by basically adopting a craft and becoming a professional at it. Once you develop rare and valuable skills, they in itself become rare and valuable. And whenever you have something that's very scarce, something that's difficult to come by, that gives you bargaining power, whether it is in the creative aspect, the control aspect, or the impact aspect. And once you basically have control of your skill, then you can start taking control of your life because you have control of your income, which therefore develops a level of passion, happiness, and being able to basically be back in control of your time. So I highly suggest that you do read the rest of this book because there's so many specific concepts that it goes into that I can't necessarily explain in this short amount of time. But that's pretty much it for Quick Dose with Croissant. So if you like the new format, what we're talking about and stuff like that, I'll highly suggest you like, comment, and subscribe. Share with a friend if you think that it might be able to help impact them. But also don't stop there. Keep looking at some of the other videos we have on the channel to put yourself in a better improvement and position for success. I'll see you in the next one.